Hello YouTube. This is my first video. I would like to talk about tomorrow is May 21st, 2011, and Judgment Day and 2012 Judgment Day. First of all, before I start any discussion, I want to, say everything that I'm about to say and present. It doesn't come from me. I give all praise and honor and glory unto God. That gives me, all things. This crazy talk about tomorrow, May 21st, and 2012, is crazy because, if you were a Bible loving Christian and a Bible believer, you would, there's a lot of these things that just, aren't of the Bible. It's right, the answers are right there in the Bible. And, people who try to twist the words of the Bible and, tell lies, they're not true Christians, But anyway, I want to get into the discussion and the facts that I will present, allowing people to know, why, Judgment Day is not coming tomorrow or 2012, but saying that, I want to say that I don't know when it's coming, but I do know that, Judgment Day isn't coming before these signs which I present here in the Bible that Jesus talks about. And also you can read them for myself, as I won't go over every sign, but you can read it as yourself, for yourself. But before I get into the discussion, I just want to say that, hopefully, this won't be my last video. I will hopefully, look to add other videos, because I truly, from the bottom of my heart, I truly, want to help people and lead people to Jesus. As a young person, I'm glad I'm righteous. I'm glad I'm not in the streets. I'm glad I'm not doing the unrighteous things that so many, young people do. And I'm really truly guided by God. Most people, they don't like, Christians. They don't like the way they are, but I love everybody because that's what the Bible tells me, and that's what, I follow Jesus, and that's what he believes in. That's what he taught. Love everybody, and try to be there for everybody, even if they hate you. You love them, for that's what Jesus taught. How can you be a follower of Jesus, when you don't follow his teachings? But getting into the discussion, and for those who are not followers of the Bible, I will present. I will give the verse name. I will give the verse, and I will also say it out in sentence form. St. Matthew chapter 24:3. Jesus' disciples come to him and ask him, how will we know when the end of the world has come? And this is the disciples asking him. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So basically they're, asking him, what signs and, how should we know when the end will come? Right off the bat, verse 4 of St. Matthew chapter 24, Jesus says, And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. So it's many people in this earth that like to deceive and like to put their own spin on the Bible and like to add their own theories and, like to take away and add what they want to God's words, which is, which is unrighteous, which is ungodly. So right off the bat, Jesus told them, take heed, for no man deceive you. Next is verse 11, chapter 24, about false prophets. St. Matthew, And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. As of today, it may be some small prophets or, smaller, prophets and that we don't even know about. But it seems as though the Bible talks about large prophets, people that be recognizable. And I haven't seen no, major recognizable people talking about, their Jesus or anything like that. So that's one point, against the Judgment Day in 2011 and 2012. Next point is those who endure should be saved. But before I get to that, I will read verse 24, chapter 24, 11 in St. Matthew, which I already read, but I'll read it again. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. Now, of course, there's a lot of, preachers out there that like to deceive. But they're not prophets. They're just, people who are in it for the money or whatever they objective is. Next, as I said, those who will endure shall be saved. St. Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So these are for the saints. For the tribulation is coming for the saints. And all the people who believe in God and Jesus. And there will be, in the end times, there will be tribulations and great trials and tribulations. But as the verse says, those who endure to the end will be saved. Next is the days will be shortened. St. Matthew chapter 24, verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. There should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So as of today, I haven't seen any days shortened. Again, Judgment Day doesn't seem to be coming tomorrow. Or in 2011, which is, or 2012, sorry, which is, obviously next year. But hopefully this video can reach the people who still believe until next year, because I'm very confident that tomorrow won't be Judgment Day. Next is many false Christs and prophets shall rise. St. Matthew 24:24. For there shall rise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, and so much that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. So it will be these false people, false Christs and false prophets, showing great signs and wonders, like fire coming down from heaven and other things that can't be explained with the naked eye. And the Bible tells us of it. So when we see it, we can know that that's what the Bible was talking about. One thing that people don't realize is the Bible is a manual for how we're supposed to live. If you don't have it, you don't know how to live. You won't know how to live right. And that's why, when people judge people and people unrighteously, you can't judge anyone. The Bible talks about judging people. And, I can't judge myself. I can't judge anybody because I'm not perfect myself. So how can I judge another man? And, I can't judge nobody because they chose the wrong path. How can I judge them, when, the people that they was hanging with and their influences around them wasn't righteous? How can you learn something and how can you, be of righteousness when you don't know what righteousness is? And that's the main objective, and that's the main, that's my main, that's what I want to get to. I want to get to those people who don't have those influences around. I want to get to those people who are just lost and need help. The people that who are lone, depressed and people like that. But God's words can heal all troubles, and I'm a very firm believer in that. And all these other false religions, they don't offer the same love and the same care that Christianity does. For the Christianity is the true religion. Anyway, getting back to the discussion, next I will talk about when the end is near. St. Matthew chapter 24, verse 33. And it reads, So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. So, as I said, I didn't go over all the signs, but when you see these signs, then should the end be near. Not 1 minute before, or not at no other time, but these signs should take place first from Jesus himself. And next is no man knoweth when the world will end. And this is the most important verse that will debunk all 2011 or 2012 theories, and even beyond. For the Bible was written, a long time ago, but it still stands today. You have people today that say, well, those things were written for old time, and those things were, those things were for people at that time. But the Bible was written for all times, and for the end of time, until the end of time, when nothing shall be anymore. So as long as we still here, the Bible still stands. God's word is still rule and power over all. So there's no found specific scriptures for this and that. God's word is for all time. Next is the flood came without their knowing. And also, before I get to that, I almost forgot, I want to get to the verse, which is the most important. Chapter 24, verse 36. And it reads as such: But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. So only God himself knows when judgment is coming, when the end of the world will be. So all these crazy dates about May 21st and 2012, which I don't know what date it is because I read about it. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be more to come, because as long as we on this earth, we're going to have unrighteous people, and people, siding against God with the devil. Next is when the end is near. Next is the flood came without their knowing. St. Matthew 24, verse 38 and 39. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered the ark. It says no, but it means Noah. And knew not until the flood came, and took them all away. So shall also be the coming of the Son of Man. And that talks about the people in those days of Noah who were doing unrighteous things. And the flood came without them even knowing. So, likewise, man will not know what hour Jesus will come. It's like, when you tell somebody, I'm going to do something, they're going to have, you can brace for it. You can become, and you can try to become, all righteous for the moment.